March Madness is underway as college basketball fans scramble to get those brackets locked in. So what teams should you keep your eye on? And what if you want to participate, but basketball's not your thing? Let's take it to our group chat. ABC's Will Reeve joins me now, along with ABC's Will Gans and ESPN women's basketball analyst and former WNBA All-Star Rebecca Lobo. Thank you all for coming on. Will, let's start. Will Reeve, let's start with you.
Okay.
What are some of the matchups you're watching for on the men's side?
I think in the first round, even the first two rounds of the NCAA men's tournament, you're just looking for entertaining games, upsets, buzzer beaters, all the stuff that we come to associate and love about March Madness. I think I'm excited for the 11 versus 6 matchups. That's what Will Gans was telling me that I should be.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of
11 versus 6 is key.
Well, because
this
every year since 2005, there's been an upset in the 11-6 matchup. So that's when I build out my bracket. You got to pick at least one of those if history is any precedent there. So.
Rebecca, who do you think will lead the dance for the women?
Well, right now, the favorite to win the whole thing is South Carolina. And on the women's side, that's the one team that's gone undefeated all season long. But if you're keeping your eye on little nuanced things, take a look at Virginia Tech, a 4 seed. One of their best players, Liz Kitley, went down with injury at the end of the season. They haven't said yet whether she'll be able to play. If she cannot, they are a much different team. Another 4 seed to keep an eye on for similar reasons is Indiana in the Albany 1 region. Their center, Mackenzie Holmes, was injured at the end of the year. They haven't said what degree she'll be able to play. And on the women's side in particular, in the first couple rounds, it pretty much has been chalk the last few years. But those are 2 instances where injuries could play a factor, and maybe we get an upset earlier than we would normally.
Now, Will Reeve, you've been covering this for a while. Do you feel like you've acquired some good tips for building a bracket?
The overarching tips are enjoy it and don't put too much money into your office pool because nobody really knows anything. That's the cheeky answer. The more nuanced answer is everyone loves picking upsets. Everyone loves seeing upsets and all the crazy stuff that happens. Those tend to happen in the early rounds. Every year we'll get a couple, maybe one outlier, a low seed that makes it far. But usually it ends up being top seeds who make it into the Final Four. Although, what am I talking about? Last year, the highest seed was a 4 seed. So it's not a crapshoot, but it's close sometimes. So I think my tips would be go with your gut and a little bit of analytics, whatever those might be. Colors, mascots, true shooting percentage.
Now we're talking. This is how I pick my teams.
I wanted to bring Will Gans.
I know someone who went to that school. I like their uniforms. Their mascot's cute.
Yeah.
And I have South Carolina winning the men's tournament. So don't maybe take my advice. But Will Gans, we're all hoping that we can, go the distance with these brackets. But you're saying if basketball's not our thing, and maybe we don't make the best choices, we can still reap some rewards.
That's exactly right. Listen, as a short king, basketball has not always been at the forefront of my mind, but being where the party is and being a part of the conversation is. So this year, if you fill out a bracket and it gets busted, you can head into TGI Fridays. They will give you 6 free wings. All you have to do is show them your busted bracket make a little purchase of another food item or a drink or whatever. Hooters is offering wings for life. If you get a perfect bracket, that probably won't happen, but the best overall bracket will get wings for a year and a trip to Cancun. And then get this, there's the Zero Right Bracket Challenge that's coming from DraftKings and Pepsi Zero Sugar. If you get none of your choices right, you can win $100,000.
I might be in the running for that.
There you go.
See, it's harder than you think, though, to get everything wrong.
I know, because there's so many upsets during March Madness, which is why we love it. And Will, you also say that if you don't want to partake in the basketball situation, there are other brackets we can do?
There's a bracket for everybody, you guys. That's right. There's the Cookie Monster Cookie Madness bracket. He tweeted that out yesterday. USPS has a Stamp bracket showdown. SportsCenter has Starch Madness, which for some reason waffles are a part of. So that's a dark horse in the Starch Madness. Okay. Waffles, going against all these potatoes. There's a Broadway bracket, and right now Cats is performing very well in that. And look at that, Phantom of the Opera getting trounced early on. No one saw that coming. And then HBO Max has a movie and TV bracket, which obviously I have mine filled out.
I kind of like Will Gans playing the role of sports reporter, only not talking about sports.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera, really an upset this early on into the March Madness.
So Rebecca, 1, I would like you to critique Will Gans's performance here as a non-sports reporter. And 2, tell us about your bracket. Who do you have going the distance and why?
Well, yes, we're going from the short king to the tall queen, and I'll embrace that fully. I think he did an outstanding job not hedging his bets and telling us what's going on. On the women's side, it's just a lot more chalk, and I think a lot of people, as I mentioned, expect South Carolina to go the whole way on the women's side. And we have one region that's super interesting, and that's the Albany 2 region. Iowa and Caitlin Clark, the team and the player that have captured the nation's imagination in terms of women's basketball this season, are the number 1 seed. But the 3 seed in their region is LSU, and that's the reigning national champion who has Angel Reese. So much good in terms of stories in that bracket. Their 2 seed is UCLA, also a team very capable of winning a national championship. You look down at the Portland 3 region. USC is the 1 seed there. They've got a phenom, Juju Watkins, an incredible young player. She's a freshman for USC. The 3 seed in that bracket, and we're not used to seeing this team as a 3 seed, is the UConn Huskies, the 11-time national champion, the team that's gone to 14 of the last 15 Final Fours. They are a 3 seed, but certainly could come out of there. And then in Portland 4, the number 1 overall seed is Texas. And you're talking about Beyonce a little bit earlier in the show, Texas Hold'em. They could also be a favorite to go to the Final Four. And on the men's side, I don't follow men's basketball nearly as quickly. This is how I fill out my bracket. I went to UConn. I have them in the championship game. My husband went to Marquette. We have them in the championship game, and then we just work backwards.
I picked my bracket just like Rebecca Lobo.
There you go.
Will, Rebecca, thank you all.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.